Okay, boys and girls, this is it. It's another Thursday night. It's STC time. And here we are at Le Castellet in France, southern France, somewhere between Marseille and Toulon in real life. And you can see that the players or the guys or the racers are already approaching the grid. And with me is, as usual, my trusted cameraman, José Estrada. Hello, José.
Hello, Eckhart, and hello, everybody.
And David Garcia is also with us, but he's currently, of course, in the pace car and trying to get on the grid as well. So let me fill you in a little bit on the background information here while the guys are still waiting for the moment when they take off on that first introduction lap. It's race number 2 of the current season. We're in the Black Cup 11, of course, and we already have a first schedule of first standings. And let me quickly tell you where the teams are at the moment. It's Game Racer, Flat Out Racing, defending champions in position number 1, having won the last and, well, the first race in Spa. Then it's Flying Dutchman Racing. Same number of points, 45 points, but they didn't win the race, so they're in position number 2. Gubbklubben UD, that is the junior team of Gubbklubben, running the, not the Corvette, but the Gumpert. They are in 3 with 34 points. In 4, Waterblue Racing from Greece with 31 points. In 5, AB Racing, our new team, from Portugal with 30 points. In 6, Gubbklubben, the basic team, with 29 points. In 7, Game Racer Flat Out Club, the junior team, with 28 points. In 8, Flying Dutchman Development, running the Audi, with 24 points. In 9, from Italy, Course Online with 20 points. And then Blue Flag Racing in position number 10 with 17 points, and Sonic Racing in position number 11. They're from Portugal as well, and they have 12 points from the first race. No points so far for Torrent Motorsports and no points so far for the Black Rebels, so they both share position or place number 12. Well, here we are then at Le Castellet. It's a track that's mainly used for testing these days, but there's also some races from time to time. But if you look for the huge, great big grandstands, well, you won't find them. There's some grandstands, some seating on the start and finish straight in real life, and also in one of the turns, I think in the turn number 5, Virage du Camp. But that's about it, because it's mainly a testing track here in the south of France. We're using the layout that the booklet download at their homepage calls Long Track Edition or Solution 1A, and it's 5.7 kilometers long. Actually, you can have the astounding number of 167 different track layouts here. There's all different sorts of shortcuts and extras and chicanes and whatnot. And the shortest one is actually only 0.8 kilometers, and we're using the longest one with the Mistral Straight in all its glory, 1.8 kilometers of full throttle. And so really for today you had to pick a setup with as little wing as possible. I suppose all the teams will be running wing 1, which means it's basically not there. Well then, the guys are now on the way to the start and finish straight. They're in the more technical section. We have the long straight, as I said. Then we have a rather technical section here that was redone in the years 2000 to 2006, and now they're out on the rather short start and finish straight, and it'll be just a moment now before we start the race. We can see David Garcia heading into the pits, and we see Göran Johansson of Gubbklubben opening the race. The track is damp. The forecast says rain, but so far it is only damp. Everybody's had a good start as far as I can see, and they go through the first chicane for the first time, and running a bit wide, Gregory Degreef for the Black Rebels, but Göran Johansson stays in control. Risto Carpet in position number 2, setting the second fastest time in the qualification for the defending champions Game Racer flat out. And then, as I said, in position number 3 in the Martech star design for the Black Rebels, Gregory Degreef, and followed by position number 4, that is a Flying Dutchman player, that's Hugo Hekkenberg for the Flying Dutchman, and he is in turn followed by Nathan Aljo, and it looks as if everybody had a clean start, and here they are the first time on the long Mr. Straight. There's a bit of spray, and there's the first attack there for position number 3. That is Hekkenberg attacking Degreef. Degreef has to go on the outside. Hekkenberg has the inside now into the next turn. Can Degreef manage to stay ahead? I don't think he can. Hekkenberg fighting with his Corvette, fighting to stay on the line, and he manages to make that move stick. Fantastic move by Hugo Hekkenberg here in the first lap already. He has passed Gregory Degreef in the Martech of the Black Rebels, and close behind them Nathan Aljo tries to make a move as well, and there he goes. He pushes past Degreef, he touches Degreef, and he can't make it stick. He runs wide a little, and Degreef attacks back, he takes the position back, and this infighting here, this fighting has led to the first two already opening a gap here, and now down the straight they go, and my cameraman Jose, please put your camera to position number 5 and 6. It's Jakob de Boer of Flying Dutchman Racing chasing down Nathan Aljo here on the short straight, and now they go into that part called Virage de l'Hôtel, but I thought De Boer would be able to make a move there on Nathan Aljo, but he wasn't, so that is the closest fighting group, while in the front we have the top 3 unchanged. It is very, very close indeed in positions number 4, 5 and 6. And Jose, here's my next piece of advice. Please go back to Gregory Degreef, because we have another attack. And it looks as if this time he may be successful. Nathan Aljo has passed Degreef on the long straight. We see him here in front of Degreef easily. In fact, he slipped out of the slipstream at the beginning of the Mistral, and he went past. In the back we can see one of the ABR Corvettes going a little wide, but no problem about that. Cutting rules are fairly lenient here.
Oh, guys.
And back from the pace car, it's that Monsieur or Senor David Garcia. Hello, David. It looked like a really uneventful outlap for you.
Yeah, quite easy.
What about the track, David? Damp is what it looks. Does it feel damp as well?
No, I think it is for the slick tires still.
Okay, we've already seen one great move by Nathan Aljo, and he is pulling away from Degreef, and Degreef has the second Koenigsegg there. Now following him into the first chicane, which is called SS de la Verrerie. Ooh, and Nathan Aljo here hits the curbs, and he's airborne, and he's landing, and he's trying to control the car, and this gives Degreef a chance. Very close racing indeed. Aljo has to cut here, and he stays outside. No, he stays inside, and now he relinquishes his position to Degreef. Very fair racing by Nathan Aljo. He had to go across that blue tarmac part, and he lets Degreef slip past, and now there's all hell breaking loose here as they go out, as they head out onto the Mistral. It's Degreef in position number 4, but it's Aljo, and behind him it's mayhem. It's Jakob de Boer, it's Luca Darfara, and it's Adam Shaw, and they're really close. Let's see how that pans out here at the end of the straight. It's Aljo, then Degreef making a move on Aljo, in fact, de Boer, and actually Adam Shaw here at the back of that group. I'm getting a little confused here, sorry guys. Greg Degreef in 5, and it was Nathan Aljo indeed who went past into position number 4, and they've been touching again. That is a very, very, very close fight indeed, and this gives the top 3 a fair chance to pull away. Look at the distance they've already got between this fighting group here for 4, 5, and 6, and then the top 3. Degreef gets a little pushed by that Course Online player there. Little touch by, I think, Fortunato Fiorito. Oh no, sorry, it's Luca da Fara. And now, ooh, there's a spin by Degreef. There's a spin by Degreef as they head out onto the straight, and this brings a whole lot of other players into the game. There's like a whole bunch of people out there. And Eljo in 4, Jakob de Boer in 5, Adam Shaw in 6, and Thiago Orfao in 7. These are just the positions there at the top, just to keep you updated. But it was Gregory Degreef who suffered there from a spin. I didn't have it on my screen, so I couldn't quite see what was happening. David or Jose, did any of you follow what was going on there with your teammate?
Yes, the camera was having a general view of the group, and I think a Course Online, I'm not sure, but I think a Course Online car touched Degreef in the rear of his car and made his spin.
Spun him round. Oh dear, oh dear. And it looks as if there's lots and lots and lots of action on the Mistral straight. And here we have Kenny Persson of Gubbklubben UD, the junior team, UD, and he's following another Gubbklubben player, Daniel Beck, who has moved up the grid to position number 8. He was in 11 at the start. So I think, Jose, it's about time we do a bit of a rundown from down here. So I'm giving our viewers now the top 7. Just mentioning them, and we see that there's been a change in the lead. Risto Carpet is now leading the race, but then we should have our first rundown so that everybody knows where the players from their teams are. So Risto Carpet in position number 1. He has actually slipped past Göran Johansson. Sorry, we were following the fights there for 49 and we missed that move. But Carpet in position number 1, Göran Johansson in position number 2. But let me tell you, it's a very, very close fight indeed. Then in 3, Hugo Hekkenberg slowly sliding up to these guys because he's taking advantage of the fights in front and the fights in the back. In position number 4, Nathan Eljo just out on the Mistral now. In 5, Jakob de Boer. In 6, Adam Shaw for Game Racer Flat Out Racing, defending champions. In 7, Thiago Orfao for AB Racing. In 8, Daniel Beck, and we see that Kenny Persson is about to make a move on him here in position number 9. And let's have a look. Well, he stays behind, but there's a fight going on further in the back, so let's move down the grid from here. Persson in position number 9, then in position number 10, David Clark. And he is followed by a mightily incised Gregory Degreef, some places down. In 11 we have Fernando Bento of AB Racing in the... It's not a Corvette, what did I say? It's a Mosler, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Mosler.
Thank you very much.
It's a Saline.
It's a Saline. I said Mosler last time. Sorry. So it's a Saline. It's a Saline for Fernando Bento, Portuguese team, Portuguese guy here, obviously. Then Luca da Fara for Course Online in position number 12. Followed by Gregory Degreef down to 13 after fighting for position number 4. That is pretty tough for Gregory and for Team Black Rebels, who were not on the grid first race of the season, so they really have to play catch up here. Then in 14, Christopher Larsson of the blue flag in our pink beauty, Pagani Zonta. That's exactly the place that he had on the grid rather, so he neither gained nor lost. Then Ethan Bass for the Flying Dutchman development team in the Audi R8. In position number 15, right now heading out onto the Mistral straight. And he's followed by a second Audi. That's Fortunato Fiorito, second of the Course Online players here as they head down the Mistral straight. And he is followed by another really tightly knit group here. Must be fun to be in that part of the grid as well. Ed Penko in 17 in one of the Martecs for Portuguese team Sonic Racing. Very nice black, white and red design here. And his teammate, you can see in the back, taking a rather unorthodox line there, but in front of him, Krzysztof Babic in position number 18 for Team Blue Flag. He was rather unlucky with his performance, or unhappy with his performance in Spa 2 weeks ago, so hoping to do a better job this time. Krzysztof, good luck for you. And then Joao Castelos, a new name for Sonic on the grid here. In the last turn now of that technical part, that's turn number 15, 16, Virage Dupont, and then he's heading out onto the start and finish straight, as does Ihab Abbas, who was with Eni, but already last season he was with Waterblue Racing, and he's racing one of their absolutely marvelously designed Pagani Zontas here. That's the white car, and we see the other car further down the grid. And then Andreas Hultgreen, my co-commentator. Ooh, Andreas, don't do that. Obviously losing a bit of control here, heading into the brake zone, giving Ihab a little bit of a touch. But Abbas recovers quickly. Let's hope nothing broke there in the back of the Zonta. And now Hultgreen in turn gets a little nudge there, and it's starting to rain. It's starting to rain in earnest as we see Andreas Hultgreen being passed by Yuri Braham, proud owner of a cat and a t-shirt, as we know from the forum. Yuri Braham for Flying Dutchman Development. Out on the straight, and Andreas, being no slouch, tries to retake his position straight away. And then, following these two who are fighting here, it's another fighting pair. It's Chris Sykes from Britain, and he is the second of the water blue guys in the dark blue design, and he is followed by position number 25, John McCartney. And McCartney here in the Gumpert Apollo for... Chris Sykes is the guy for Torrent Motorsports, following Ihab Abbas, and John McCartney is a bit down, must have suffered some problems in the first 1 or 2 laps, and McCartney also Gumpert Apollo at the rear of the field in the moments, but that means we must already have lost one of the guys, because I think we were 26 at the start. But there you go. Right now, Jose, let's quickly go back to the top, because there we have Göran Johansson back in the top spot, but he is attacked on the long straight, and successfully attacked by Risto Capet. Formula One needs all sorts of technical stuff to do that. We do it at the STC here all on our own. Fantastic maneuvers there on the long straight, on the Mistral straight, ligne droite du Mistral, to be quite precise, as the rain intensifies here, and Göran Johansson takes a very clever line going into that technical bit in double droite du Busse, and Capet tries to squeeze past again. This is really an all-out fight here for position number 1 and 2, and look at Hekkenberg. Look at what Hekkenberg has done. He has taken the advantage. He has seen these two quarreling, and slowly but surely he has managed to catch them. Capet now, having recovered position number 1, is out on a start and finish straight, and a very clean exit, and followed by Göran Johansson in turn, followed by Hugo Hekkenberg. That's your top 3.
Eckhart, track condition is still damp, even if it's start raining a bit harder.
Sorry?
Yeah, I was saying that the track conditions is still damp, even if
still
it's
damp,
raining a bit harder.
Okay. Probably needs some time for the rain to accumulate, to
possibly
form puddles and stuff. Yeah, it looks fairly decent. However, the the guys in the cockpits will be very careful now. I mean, they can see the spray, they can see the rain, and they will know that sooner or later this track will no longer be damp. And look at this spray behind the cars. So that obviously points to more than a little water here on virtual Le Castellet, or Paul Ricard, as it's also called, in southern France. It's quite unusual, isn't it? Southern France, rain this time of the season?
Well, I'm not sure, because it's almost mid-October. I think it rains sometimes.
Okay. I thought it was one of those places where they have like 360 days of sun in the year.
No, this is...
I don't think so.
No.
It's not California.
This is more in my plate, I got.
Okay. Well, as we see, while we're talking about the weather, Risto Carpet really having a hell of a time defending against Göran Johansson. These two must be enjoying themselves immensely. And, I mean, put yourself into the shoes of, not the shoes, but the eyes of Hugo Hekkenberg. He's watching all this, and now we can see Johansson going into the pits already, and I suppose he's going to pick up wet tires. What do you think, David?
Yeah, that would be the only explanation for that stop. It's way too early.
Yep. And I figured that by this time, if he refuels to the brim, just making the tank completely full, he might be okay for the rest of the race, might he not?
All Gubbklubben is into the pits now. All the cars.
Oh dear, they must have Motec running somewhere in the background, and some race engineer telling the guys, come on, it's going to get wetter, more and more wet. Come in quickly, and then maybe we can pull this off.
I have seen also one of your teammates, Eckert, one of the blue flags.
Okay. Right. Don't know if we have the Motec up and running. I suppose not, but maybe it's just sheer racing experience. Was it the blue car or the pink car?
Yeah, it was Christoph Babic. Blue
Christopher.
car.
Blue car.
Yeah.
Christoph Babic.
Yeah,
okay,
and also
yeah.
Chris Skies from Torrent and Ihab Abbas from Blue Water. Yeah.
Yep, Water Blue
Racing.
Yeah, not Blue
okay.
Water.
Wasn't there a song that was Water Blue, something like that?
Water Blue Racing, yep.
But wasn't there a song of ABBA that says
song?
Water Blue?
I have
was
no idea.
Waterloo. That is in Belgium, actually.
Oh well, we're making puns here, aren't we? I think we have a little thrill for those puns, for that kind of joke. Anyway, Risto Carpet still in front, and now, David, do you have any information for us where on the grid did the Gubbklubben guys come back into the race?
Yes,
because everybody else staying outside.
I know almost everything, Ricard.
Perfect.
It's Daniel Beck, P20. And Kenny Persson, position 21.
Okay.
And wait, check in. Göran Johansson, position 15.
Okay, not too bad.
And I'm missing one.
Yep, that's the new name. I had to get it's Per Acterius.
Yeah, but I think he fell from the server at the formation.
Oh dear,
lap.
that's the guy we're missing. I thought we were missing one guy already.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we were 26 on the grid, and now we're down to 25. So, oh dear, that's very bad luck, because they're in position number 3 in the overall standings, or were before tonight. So that's really going to hurt. And talking of hurting, looking at the players here, at the guys in the front, Risto Carpet and Hugo Hekkenberg. Carpet does have an awful lot of trouble just keeping that Koenigsegg on the line, whereas Hugo Hekkenberg obviously does have a setup that is much, much better suited to the rain, because he runs virtually clean lines, and every time Carpet slips away on the straight, but every time Hekkenberg gets really, really close again in the technical parts.
Yes, I'm waiting now for the lap times. Waiting for the Gubbklubben cars to do a lap after the pit stop and compare the times, because
exactly.
Risto still stays out, and
He
Hugo,
does.
I
He
think
does.
does
There's
the
everybody
same.
else.
Yeah.
Everybody's staying out. It was just the Gubbklubben guys
Yes, but,
who.
but guys,
Yes.
there is a fact, and it is that all the cars are going way slower than the beginning of the race.
Yeah,
As
they
an
should
example, Risto Capet, his fastest lap is 1:47.6, and his
that's not
last lap
fast.
is 1:53, and the previous one 1:51. So
Yep.
maybe it was a good decision for the Gubbklubben guys to go on pit.
Yep, that's like 4 seconds. If they win 4 seconds, if they have won already 4 seconds per lap, I mean, but we have to wait for the times with the rain tires, see if it really is such a big advantage.
Yes, Göran did now 1:52.3 now. That is
okay.
almost 1 second faster than Risto Capet, and half a second faster than P2 Hugo Hekkenberg. So it seems
okay.
it's starting
Seems
to pay out now.
Yep, and he was about only a second behind, so he should be virtually in front now if nothing else happens. And from the way that Risto Capet's Koenigsegg is really all over the place, I can see him making just a small mistake sooner or later. And Hugo, I think, is playing it very carefully here, is really taking it very... Look at that, Capet sliding there as he tries to get into that last turn. And Hekkenberg taking a very safe approach here so as not to get into any trouble if Capet runs into trouble. And these two have really opened the gap now. And it's basically the same pair following them. It's another flat-out Koenigsegg and another Flying Dutchman Corvette in 3 and 4. So that must be Jakob de Boer. And just to give you a name quickly, it's Jakob de Boer against Nathan Aljo for the flat-out club in position number 3 and 4. So we have the same kind of fight here, just with something like 7 or 8 seconds between them. And look at Risto Capet here, really struggling in the turns.
Yes, but Capet lost time because it seems he had a connection or hardware problem for a few seconds, because I could see him frozen while other cars were moving. So was his connection or maybe graphical freeze for a second, and he lost like 4 or 5 seconds.
Anyway, guys, now the track conditions moved to wet, definitely.
Oh, they have.
And comparing Hugo Hekkenberg and Risto Capet lap times with Göran Johansson lap, now he is a couple of seconds faster per lap.
Oh dear. And yeah, with the track conditions getting more and more wet, he's probably going to gain more and more as these guys are going to lose more and more. So they should be called into the pits pretty fast now.
Yes, and they are fighting, which makes it worse, because they are losing even more time and touching and.
The question is how much time.
He lost it. He lost the car now. Did you see that, guys?
That was Nathan.
Lost the car.
That was Nathan Aljo. That was Nathan Aljo, I think. Position number 4.
Risto is pitting
in. And Risto is pitting in. Yes, that's what I saw. And Hugo stays out. Hugo stays out. So we have a new race leader for the Flying Dutchman. It's Hugo Hekkenberg in position number 1, while Capet is in the pits. And let's see about the others. De Boer stays out, and all the flat-outs are coming in. Yeah. There's been some call, there's some general idea. Capet is in the pits, and Aljo is in the pits, and so is David Clark. David Clark stays out, and Adam Shaw is in the pits as well. So we have Capet in the pits, Shaw and Adam Shaw for the flat out. And let's see where they come out with regards to Göran Johansson, for example. And we see that Göran Johansson has passed already. He is in position number 8, and he is following Christopher Larsson in 7. So the flat-out guys, really, when they will come out, they will have a bit of a shock, obviously, because they will be far down. So it's a 1-2 now for Flying Dutchman. It's Hugo Hekkenberg in 1, and it's Jakob de Boer in position number 2. So everybody bring out those orange flags. And not only is their national soccer team doing brilliantly at the moment, already qualified for the European Championship, the Dutch are doing fairly well here in the STC as well. Really, following in the tracks of the Roaring Pipes maniacs, not only design-wise, but also now performance-wise. Hugo Hekkenberg here leading the race at Le Castellet. And let's see if he turns into the pits now. It's only another last turn before he goes or doesn't go into the pits. It's only turn number 16, Virage Dupont. And he stays out. He must be very sure of what he's doing. He must have all the data available that we don't have. And he decides to stay out for at least another lap. David, what about his times? And in P8 it's Göran Johansson, and he is running into trouble here, trying to not crash into Christopher Larsson. Larsson was simply sticking to his line. Johansson making a move, trying to not hit him. And then he had some trouble, but he recovered quickly. And position number 8, I think, says it all. David, you with your perfect data, where did the flat-out guys come back on the grid, and how far is the distance now between Capet and Johansson?
Yes, well, we have David Clark, who didn't pit P5. And then we have the next flat-out car is Nathan Eljo, 14, P14.
Okay, 14.
Risto Capet, position 15. And then Adam Shaw, position 17.
All right. And do you also have access to the time difference between Göran and Risto?
Yes, of course. The difference between Göran and Risto Capet is more or less 20 seconds. Maybe a bit more.
Oh dear, that's about the Mistral Straight, just to make this more accessible. So that is what he has won in by pitting in 3 to 4 laps early.
The question is, Eckhart, will we Göran be forced to do another pit stop, or what do you think?
I don't think so. I think that at least the Pagani Zonta at least the Zonda, if you put all the fuel in that is available, it will run for like 80 minutes. So he should be okay. I think if the tires hold, and well, if it's raining, they will definitely do the job for that long. I think he can now finish the race without a further stop.
Okay.
And we are here in 12.
With the tires.
Yeah, I think so too. And problem will be if the track starts to dry again. Right now the rain is still on, but it might stop. But we are here in position 12, 13 and 14. It's Daniel Beck in 12 for Gubbklubben. And in 13 it is Risto Carpet. And both of them are followed by Joao Castellos for Sonic Racing. But Joao just now had some trouble coming out of Virage Dupont. And so as a result, Risto is now following Daniel Beck closely, but I think that just as I'm speaking, Beck manages to slowly gain the upper hand here. And it just seems that the Corvette is much more suited to the wet conditions than the Koenigsegg. I mean, the Flying Dutchmen are doing fine in the Corvettes, and the Gubbklubben guys are doing very fine indeed, aren't they?
Yes, and one of the flatouts went wide in a corner. I don't know if you noticed it. Was in the screen, and went out of the track. I think it's 3 positions down now.
Yep, it seems to be
17.
Yep, it seems that the Koenigsegg has a setup here, that the flatout chose a setup that really is very problematic in rain with a full tank. And I suppose that as the race progresses, they will get better and better and better. But right now, it's the Corvettes that definitely have the upper hand here at rainy Le Castellet. And we're moving up the grid to position number 11 at Penko for Sonic. And he has not pitted yet, and that really moved him up the grid here to position number 11. Then in position number 10, Ethan Bass, just off the track and recovering. And he's following his teammate, Yuri Braham, both of them for Flying Dutchman Development Team. Flying Dutchman Development Team. In really nicely designed Audi R8s here, black and white. And then in 8, it's a massive Swedish battle. It's Christopher Larsson in the pink Blue Flag Racing Pagani Zonta, battling against Göran Johansson. And obviously Christopher hasn't been to the pits as well. He's obviously staying out as long as possible too. And I don't know, I suppose he went out on slicks. So I don't think he went out on wets. So he's going to have a really hard time keeping somebody like Göran Johansson behind him. But he's managed to do that now for some 3 or 4 laps. So it is really a very intense fight here for Christopher Larsson. But look at the way Göran Johansson goes about this, taking it very, very carefully indeed. And on the straights, it looks as if the Pagani is at least a fair match for the Corvette. It may not be faster, but at least it can fend off the Corvette as they head down the Mistral. Now Johansson, no, he doesn't. I thought he was maybe trying to make a move on the outside end. Ooh, that is a very defensive line taken by Larsson here. But Larsson manages to stay ahead, and now out they go onto the start and finish straight. And it's still Johansson in 8, and it's still, in 7. And it's Christopher Larsson in 6. That means somebody must have pitted, and both of them have moved up 1 position. Near perfect line by Larsson here through the first chicane. He actually gains on Johansson in places like that.
Looks like it is raining a bit less now.
Yep,
Can be.
Definitely. Could be that it's drying up, and could be that all the people who switched to wets will be facing some problems, but that would be about 5 to 6 laps from now. And as I said, Christopher Larsson can stay in front of Göran Johansson on the long straight, which is very good indeed, because that is a place where we saw a lot of overtaking maneuvers in the first 2, 3, 4, 5 laps. And Larsson in 6 here, having moved up from 14 at start, just by staying out of the pits, obviously. And then Göran Johansson, this is where he is fastest. This is where he is getting really, really close indeed. So if he wants to make a move, he has to make a move in turns 14, 15 or 16. We're in 15 now. That's Virage du Lac. And now they're approaching the last turn, and Larsson again on the defensive line. And Göran trying to take a lot of speed out here, as Larsson has huge problems putting down the speed in the Pagani Zonta, and that was a very sensible move there by Göran Johansson. He's now on the inside as they approach the chicane, and Larsson manages to stay in front. Great work here by Christopher Larsson. He manages to stay in front, but just so, and look at the sensible approach. Oh, Johansson here. I was just talking about a sensible approach. He had a bit of a trouble here, bit of a problem hitting the curbs, but manages to catch the Corvette.
No rain at all at the moment.
Sorry, David?
Yeah, I said that there is no rain at all at the moment.
Nope, but track probably still wet.
Yeah, possibly, but if it remains like this, it will be dry in 4 laps.
Yep. And at the top, we still have 2 guys who haven't pitted. Hugo Hekkenberg of the Flying Dutchman Racing and Jakob de Boer of the Flying Dutchman Racing. So they're leading 1-2. And they were, remember, on equal points in position number 2 in the overall standings after meet number 1. So they should really gain here from this. In between the two, you find Andreas Hultgreen of the Black Rebels, already a lap down. And he obviously has been to the pits as well and changed to wets. Well, let's see how that evolves here, as Hekkenberg is now in the Virage de l'Hôtel, and he's now in number 5, which is called Virage du Camp. And this is where our rendering of Le Castellet differs a bit from the original, because there's huge grandstands actually here behind these turns. They've been erected, I think, like 2 or 3 years ago. And so our layout here is a bit dated, but what the heck. Right, time flies by when you enjoy yourself. It's more than half an hour of this race number 2 here in the STC. David, would you agree that this is really, it's a rain poker tonight?
Yeah, of course it is, of course. Will be a 100% strategic race.
Yep. And so far it seems that Game Racer flat out have not made the best of decisions, but you just wait and see. There's still 60 minutes to go. There's a lot that can still happen. I mean, it's pretty sure that Vettel is going to be world champion after this weekend, but nothing is decided yet here at virtual Le Castellet. At the moment we have the Flying Dutchmans collecting the massive amount of, where's my chart? I think 31 and 29, that would be 60 points for their 1-2 here, but it's a long way to Tipperary, isn't it?
Yeah, still a lot of things can happen, but they did a great work with the decision they made of staying out. It looked like it would be better to enter and change to wets. But now, if it doesn't start raining again, the situation will get better and better for them. So.
Yep. Already we can see the spray disappearing. Well, it's still there, but it's getting definitely less, and it's almost sunny here in Le Castellet. My teammate Christoph Babic is in the pits again, so I suppose he's switching back.
Same for Fernando Bento, Ricard.
Yep. Bento too, so I suppose they're both switching back, and we still have 22 guys on the grid here at Le Castellet, and right now we have real clear sunshine, so everybody who's out on wets must feel dreadful now. How long do you think, David, before the tires really call it a day under these conditions then? I mean, the track is still damp, but the sun's coming out.
Well, the tires will suffer a lot if it's still like this. The wet tires are very soft to be used on dry conditions, so 2 laps more and they will be gone.
Okay.
Guys, I think I missed something. Possibly you mentioned it during the broadcast, but what happened to Göran Johansson? Because now I saw that he's on position 14.
Oh dear.
And I'm checking. Yeah, he beat last lap.
That was then just the usual pit, because we're already pretty much in the half, and he just decided to pit now because maybe he's running out of fuel. It would have been, of course, better now to wait for another 5 to 10 minutes to see what will happen to the weather, but that was, I think, just a normal pit stop.
Yeah, but he was on wet tires possibly, so maybe he saw his performance was falling.
Yeah, possible as well. But we must ask him, if he finishes in the top 3, we must definitely ask him about strategy in the top 3 interview at the end of the broadcast.
But if I am honest, Ricard, I don't see any chance for him now, because he's really far. He is maybe 40, 50 seconds from the top 3.
Yeah, well, let's wait and see. I wouldn't want to make any prediction at this point in the race. People on the pits, all over the place, because it's middle of the race.
Yeah, Kenny Persson and Christopher Larsson are at pit right now.
Yep.
I have to tell you something, guys, and it looks like Gregory Degreef and Jakob the Boer are closing the gap with Hugo Hekkenberg.
Yep. And we are following here a fight in the middle of the grid. Well, not in the middle, and still in the top half. It's Risto Carpet, again, trying to claw his way back up the grid. And this time it's not Göran Johansson who is in his rearview mirror. It's Daniel Beck, second of the Gubbklubben guys here. And again we see that Carpet has a serious problems here. And off he goes! Off he goes. I couldn't see if there was a touch involved. The Carpet was running wide. Beck was going on the inside. Don't know if there was a touch involved. Couldn't see it from my position. And at any rate, Carpet is off the track into the wall, and let's hope that he didn't seriously damage his Koenigsegg. He recovered still in position number 7, which I find quite miraculous because it was really off. And now Beck is into the pits. That must be the same pit stop that Göran Johansson did earlier.
Yeah.
So just your average pit stop in the middle of the race.
Daniel Beck and David Clark Eckart at pit.
Thank you very much. That puts Carpet in 5. Followed by Ethan Bass, who has really moved up the grid. He was in 15 and he's now in 6.
Yeah, we lost that move, Eckart, because the overlays I don't have, so I couldn't arrive on time. But
okay. Well, let me tell you, it was from my position, from the way I saw it, Carpet was struggling with his line. I was just going to say that, and while Beck did a very clean line, and then Carpet came back onto this clean line, got a little touch rear right it must have been, and then he went into the wall, but apparently recovered rather quickly. And right now he's out on the straight on Mistral Straight, and it looks as if his Koenigsegg survived that one totally intact.
Kenny Persson is at pit again, and now Gregory Degreef at P3. Pit in, let's see where he falls.
And still in the middle of the grid here, it's Adam Shaw for Game Racer Flat Out, defending champions, and he has to battle against Joao Castellos of Sonic. And Castellos was way back, about 50 minutes back at the start. He was in 22, whereas Flat Out guy Adam Shaw was up there in 7. This just goes to show you how much the overall positions here have been thoroughly mixed and thoroughly been upended by first the rain and then the average pit stops. And now they're joined by none other than Daniel Beck, I think. Yes, indeed he is. Daniel Beck for Gubbklubben, who's just had his regular pit stop. And they're out here onto the start and finish straight, and maybe we see an attack by Beck. Sorry, nope. He lets Joao have the upper hand here in the first chicane, but he's trying to make a move now into the brake zone. Castellos stays the line, and very well done indeed. And now he steps past Daniel Beck. A very surprising move. Can he make it stick? A little touch there. And he can. Fantastic racing by Daniel Beck here. Very well done indeed. And also very well done indeed by Joao Castellos. There were plenty of chances to mess up that situation. No, he didn't. And now Beck is passed, and Beck sets his sight already on the flat-out Koenigsegg. That's Adam Shaw, who is just in front of him. And both of them now down the Mistral, Shaw still in position number 12 and back up to 13 and approaching very quickly here. Approaching Shaw. Shaw must have some serious problem with his ride. Look at that. Back just slips by as if this was just nothing, and we're talking about the defending champions here. And I know Gubbklubben have huge aspirations, huge high hopes for this season. Ooh, and Shaw slipping there in the background.
Guys.
Going sideways, yes.
P4, P5 and P6 at pit. Nathan Eljo, Yuri Braham, Ethan Bass and Ed Penko at pit.
The whole bunch of them.
Yeah, I was thinking that Gregory Degreef have been the first one of the top 3 stopping. So will be the one on best tires for some laps. Maybe it pays off well for him.
It maybe does, and we still have the 2 leaders of the race, the 2 Flying Dutchman players, still out. Hugo Hekkenberg still out, and Jakob de Boer still out as well. So I wonder when they will ever pit. Guys, you need to pit sooner or later, and don't know. They should be running into tire problems by now, even under these conditions. Oh, hi Squirrel, there you are. Yep, they need to pick up tires, tell them.
Yeah, you should pit, guys. Come on, pit.
I don't know about your Dutch, Squirrel. Is it good?
My Dutch?
Yep, you're Dutch.
Not really good. If you give me 1 minute, I will try something.
Okie dokie.
I will be back.
Okay, that's got rid of the little fellow. Yes. We're still looking for a name for him, though. More about that later.
Okay, just think a name. Think a pretty name for me. And I will be back with a Dutch sentence for Hugo and Jakob.
Thank you very much. We're extremely delighted.
Welcome,
Oh, sorry.
Oh my God.
Anyway, David, sorry, Squirrel, I thought you were off about that Dutch sentence. Anyway, here goes...
I honestly don't really know, but yeah, I think we are with... I see a flat-out club car, followed by Matek... No. Matek, yeah, from Sonic Racing. So I'm watching the live timing 15-16.
So we're in 15-16. It's Nathan Eljo. We still have these flat-outs guys fighting all over the place. There you are. And in the background we can see that finally Hugo Hekkenberg is indeed pitting. And even though this fight is fantastic, I think we should go to position number 1 to show our viewers where Hekkenberg rejoins the track. But oh dear, we see Eljo here with huge trouble defending against that Sonic guy who is Ed Penko. Hekkenberg has rejoined the track and he is still in position number 1. That seems to have been one fantastic strategy by the Flying Dutchman. And Jakob de Boer is out too. He is in position number 2, and Göran Johansson is in position number 3, but he's down something like 5 to 6 seconds to Jakob de Boer. So everyone has done their pit stop now. There may be still some more rain. It's getting darker in the background already. But at the moment, it seems as if the Flying Dutchmen have really played their cards the best. It's Hugo Hekkenberg out there in position number 1. And it is Jakob de Boer in position number 2 for sure. And then a little way down, it's Göran Johansson for the Swedish team Gubbklubben in position number 3 with Gregory Degreef for the Black Rebels in position number 4. And Hugo Hekkenberg looks as self-assured as ever in this tonight here in this race at Le Castellet at Paul Ricard. And while he's doing what he does best, being in position number 1 and controlling the Sim Racing Team Challenge event for tonight, brought to you actually by GameHosters.net, whose servers are doing what they do best, being very, very stable and able. Brought to you also by simrace.tv, channel number 1. Let me give you some more information about the track here at Le Castellet. If you ever wonder about these stripes, they're actually for slowing the car down. Yes, indeed. There's a special kind of concrete being mixed here by German architect Thielke, who's doing all the Formula 1 tracks, as you probably know. And he redesigned the course here. It was opened in 1970, and he redesigned it from 2000 to 2006 as a test track, basically originally for the Toyota Formula 1 team, but of course everybody else invited to test here as well. And these blue stripes actually slow the car down. And as this seems to work very well, meaning that while you're testing, your cars don't crash. The average testing day here is twice as expensive as on any other track around the world. So if you want to go with your sim racing team and actually test what it's like in real life, you have to shell out something like 30,000 euro a day to do testing here. But as I said, you can then choose from 167 different track layouts. We only have one, and that incorporates the long Mistral straight. And down the straight go David Clark, and followed by Yuri Braham. Clark in 5, Braham in 6. And what a move it was for Braham. He was in 18 on the grid. And now Braham attacks, going into that first corner here of the technical part. That is double droit de Bossé, a double right-hander, as the name implies, and now heading towards turn number 12, which is Virage de Bond d'Or, and in the Bond d'Or, here comes the attack. A very, very wide line here by flat-out guy David Clark for Flat-Out Club, while Braham takes the inside and he slips past. A fantastic move, very well done, Yuri Braham, very well done indeed. And not only does the Flying Dutchman team have positions number 1 and 2, their junior team is now in 5, so there should be smiles all around in the Netherlands here for this Dutch team, Yuri Braham, and look at that, he's just flashing away massively here from David Clark in the Koenigsegg, just, you know, as if he was standing still on the straight. And they're both followed by Daniel Beck, and who has been fighting with flat-out guys all the way through the race, and he now definitely has set his sight on David Clark in position number 6, while Braham just speeds off into great blue beyond. So, second rundown of the night. Just to give you a quick update on positions number 1. Hugo Hekkenberg has just finished his lap. He is still in number 1. Jakob de Boer, about to cross the start and finish line now in position number 2. In 3, Göran Johansson, just now exiting the last turn and out onto the start and finish straight. In 4, Gregory Degreef on his way to the last turn of the track. In 5, as we've just seen, Yuri Braham. In 6, David Clark for Game Racer Flat-Out Club. In 7, Daniel Beck for Gubbklubben Proper, the original team in their beautifully designed Corvette. Then in 8, Risto Carpet, who was leading the race, but who had some problems along the way and is now down from 1. He wasn't pole sitter, he was in 2, but he's down from 2 to 8. And now going through the first 2 turns, SS de la Verrerie. And that guy behind him in the, what was it again? Whatever, AB Racing car, in the Portuguese car here. Mossler? Thiago. Saline, I will never get it. I will just keep making jokes about it. And AB, I stand you one. Thank you. That wasn't Dutch. Anyway, Thiago Orfao.
In Dutch.
Yeah, okay. Dutch. Listen closely.
Okay. Pay attention. It's a long sentence. It says, Ik heb honger, slaap, en ik bied eieren.
I suppose it wasn't only me who had some problems picking that up, but you're trying, I appreciate that. Anyway, back to the... Yep. I liked it very much indeed. You're a good squirrel. Back to what we're doing here. STC. Thiago Orfao in position number 9. A fantastic night for him as well. Let me quickly check where he started. Oh no, he's down 1 place. He started in 8. Then in 10, second of the AB Racing players. So they have number 9 and 10. That should get them a lot of points. Well done indeed. Fernando Bento in position number 10. And he's been having quite an positive night. It's up from 19 for him, so 9 positions gained in the, well, that car. Let's just call it car. Position number 11 for Ethan Bess, and right now it's starting to rain again. Just to put you in the picture of what's going on here, after exactly an hour of Le Castellet, STC, round 2, it's starting to rain again, second shower of the night. Let's see what happens now. But we have in position number 11, Ethan Bass for Flying Dutchman Development. So they have almost all their 4 cars in the top 10. That is just amazing. Then in 12, Nathan Eljo for Flat Out Club. Running the, well, let's call it pink version of the Koenigsegg. He's followed rather closely in position number 13 by Ed Penko for Sonic Racing in the Martec. Some people call it Ford GT40, we call it Martec, because these are the guys who developed the race version that we see here. Then in 14, for Team Blue Flag Racing, pink car, Christopher Larsson. Doing a very steady race indeed. He was 14 at the start and he's still 14 now. Down to position number 15.
Eckhart.
Yes, David.
Well, you go on with the roundup. Where did you meet that squirrel? I'm curious for knowing that.
Sorry?
Where did you meet that squirrel?
What did it say? I have no idea what the little guy said. Not at all. I think it said something about eating and drinking, but I'm not quite sure.
No. I was asking you where did you meet the squirrel?
Where did I meet it? I have no idea. You brought it along.
No. I don't know anything about this animal.
You are. Yes, a little joke here. Back to the race. That's 15 for Adam Shaw, and he's having a huge fight here for position, because in 16 it is Luca Darfara. That is the closest fight we have on the whole grid at the moment, and they're running up to Christopher Larsson, who was just now pitting, doing obviously a stop-and-go penalty. And he's out of pits again, but he's down to 16, so Darfara in 15 and Adam Shaw in 14. And this is a battle that has been raging for quite some time now. And Darfara really... Oh, there they touch again! Ooh. through, and it's Adam Shaw into the wall as Dafara tries to squeeze through on the inside, and Adam Shaw now, oh my goodness, mightily banged up in the front. I suppose this doesn't bode well. It looks awful indeed. He went straight into the wall. And that puts Christopher Larsson back in 15 and Dafara in 14, but we're still on our rundown, so we should go to 16, Adam Shaw, who's had this trouble, and that doesn't look good at all. He's twitching even on the Mistral straight, so handling seems to be completely off, which is good news indeed for Joao Castellos in 17 for Sonic Racing, and he might gain a position if Shaw has to pit for repairs. Castellos doing a rather careful race here, but still in the race, which is always good news, in 17, and he is up from 22, so treading carefully has already gained him 5 positions. That's my man, Joao Castellos. In position number 18, the sole survivor of Gubbklubben UD, of the junior team, in the Gumpert Apollo, and my goodness, the original design is really ugly, but that layout is absolutely fantastic that the Gubbklubben Skinners have done. And a nice match to the Corvette that they did. And he is in 18 now, Kenny Persson. Sounds like a rock singer, really, doesn't it? Kenny Persson. Anyway, Andreas Hultgreen, also from Sweden, but with the Black Rebels, of course, and very often in the commentator box here as well. Andreas, in case you watch this, you are currently in position number 19, and next week it'll be the other way around. I'll be down there in Hockenheim and you'll be up here telling people whatever goes on at Hockenheim race number 3. Then in position number 20, Christoph Babic for Blue Flag Racing. He said on our forum, I'm going to take it very, very careful this time. I really hated having to stop the car last time round. He crashed, obviously, at Spa. And he's down to 20. He was, he was 20 at the start already, so nothing much changed for him. I think, yes, indeed, he is. He is the last guy still on the grid here. So 20 cars still on the grid here at Le Castellet, and we have about 25 minutes to go, and it's still raining.
What do you think? Do you think somebody will risk to stop and pick wet tires?
I don't think so. I think the first shower has shown them all that if it's raining, it's not going to rain for very, very long. So I think they will all stay out on dries now. That was your rundown, so that you could see all the players still here at Le Castellet. We were 26 at the start, we're down to 20, and 2 of the guys still slugging it out big time here are Nathan Eldo, who has just now received a hit from Ethan Bass, and Ethan Bass himself, and Ed Penko. They're fighting for positions number 11, 12, and 13. And Ethan Bass, I'm not quite sure about that situation there. To me it looked as if Bass was just sticking to the line, but I might be mistaken. Very, very unsure about that one. I wouldn't want to call it. Gladly, I'm not a referee here, and gladly we have the replay system to figure that one out after the night is over. But that put Ethan Bass in front of Nathan Eljo, and Bass now in 11, Eljo in 12, and Penko in 13. That is very, very close racing indeed, with only 20 minutes or so to go of the race here at virtual Le Castellet. Eljo in the sandwich, and he's trying to make up lost time on Ethan Bass. Penko with a crazy line there, slipping out, and Eljo really, in Germany we would say he does have a knife between the teeth now. pirates do just as they enter the enemy ship. Knife between the teeth. This leads to some sliding by Aljo, and this leads to a seriously bad exit speed as he exits now onto Mistral, and this in turn leads to Ed Penko possibly getting into the slipstream. Let's see how Penko can take advantage of that. He can't. In turn, just squeezing past here. In fact, it was Nathan Aljo. Even though he had that very, very bad exit speed, he actually managed to catch Ethan Bass on the long straight, and he's now back in position number 11. Almost a lap has passed. No, yes, almost a lap has passed since Ethan Bass managed to get past, and now Bass is down to 12th, and in turn has to defend against Penko. Very nice, very close sim racing fighting here between these three. Down the start and finish they go. Nothing Ethan Bass can do at the moment. I think he's basically dependent on Nathan making some mistakes here and there. Like all the flat-out guys, he's been struggling with the setup here in the damp conditions right from the start. And it's drying up big time now. Rain has stopped. And there's still a little bit of spray behind the cars, but nothing serious. So should be fairly dry in another 3 or 4 laps. And out onto the long Mistral straight they go again. And Ethan Bass trying to stay in the slipstream. I think, though, he's too far behind. Yep, nothing he can do, but now let's see what happens as they go into the more technical part. And it's a track you really got to love, isn't it? Because it's got this long straight, and it's got this very, very nice, smooth, but very technical part that the players are in now. And then it has the start and finish straight, a chicane, another straight, another chicane, and then 2 or 3 really tight turns, and then out on the straight again. It's got a very nice rhythm to it.
Yeah, it was said that Formula One could come to this track, yep. And a lot of people complain, but I think actually we have tarmac runoffs in every track nowadays, so
yep.
It really doesn't make a difference. The only difference is there are blue lines on this one, but yep. Apart from that. And it's a nice track, and the good thing is if in one GP something doesn't work as you expected, like it's boring or you detect some problems with the track, you really have options to change for the next year.
Yep, indeed. Yes, they could, but then they would have to build like hundreds of grandstands, seating for the spectators around the track, because I think at the moment they can host something like 60,000 people, where that is not really very much for a Grand Prix, isn't it?
No, the numbers used to be more than 100,000, but.
Yep, but there's plenty of space. I mean, just put up some grandstands, everything's fine. They've got their own airport just right next to the track. I started out as an airport actually for the firm, for the Paul Ricard drinks firm, and then developed into a racetrack. So yeah, they could come back. Some of the series are already racing here in real life, and they're all very, very happy to be here. And I think most of the real-life drivers really appreciate and like the track as well. Here comes the rain again. Rain has started again. I was just saying it's going to be sunny and dry for the rest of the game, but no, it's not. Rain has started again at Paul Ricard. 15 minutes to go. And I think, Jose, we should pay the race leader a visit and see if he's still Hugo Hekkenberg. And well, at least on my screen, here he is, Hugo Hekkenberg, still in position number 1. At the moment, lapping Krzysztof Babic, and also the last remaining course online. That should be Dafara, but easily passes Babic. It looks as if Babic has some serious problems with high speed there, maybe received a hit somewhere, but that's all no businesses of Hugo's. Hugo is still in number 1, and I don't know, has Hugo Hekkenberg ever won an STC race? I don't think so.
I'm not sure, but I don't think he won, no?
Nope, I can't remember him winning. So it would be a premiere tonight, a first win for Hugo Hekkenberg, and very well deserved indeed. They played their hand very, very wisely, very dangerously, but apparently they made the right move at the right time by simply staying out, sticking to their guns, enduring the weather conditions, and then only doing one stop.
Yes, but I don't know how strong he's training now, but I think only a really big thunderstorm or something like that could change the results of this race.
Really, I think the first rain shower really scared people off going into the pits. I mean, those who did really had to pay dearly for it, didn't they?
Yeah, you can see now that Göran Johansson it's 25 seconds down. So
yep.
That says a lot.
Certainly does, because pit stop only took them like 40 seconds or so. So he would have been up in front, way up in front. But well, he isn't, and it's Hugo Hekkenberg in front, and it's which is even better. It's Jakob de Boer, so it's a flying Dutchman Racing 1-2. Wonderful result for them, really, and it should give them a massive lead in the points overall after this race.
Yes, I mean they like we say in the spin, probably it's not really correct in English, but they set up as candidates for the title today.
Yep, certainly. They certainly do. I think we have the 3 big teams. These are the teams that also have a junior team on the grid. That is the defending champions, Game Racer Flat Out, who have Flat Out Club as well. Then we have Flying Dutchman Racing, who have a Flying Dutchman Development as well. And then we have Gubbklubben, who have Gubbklubben UD as well. And so these 3 are really going to be in a title fight this year, I think. We had a great performance by Waterblue Racing in the first meet at Spa, but tonight they have been rather disappointing. I think one of them is already out, or even 2 of them. And so they are going to go home here with very few points indeed. And right now we see Hekkenberg lapping that course online player there. And still, if you look at the lines that Hugo is taking, this is all very, very clean and very much in control. It doesn't really seem to matter for that Corvette and that setup and that player. Whether it's raining, whether it's dry, it looks almost the same, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's only the lap times that are a bit slower, but the lines and the confidence from the driver with the car, it seems the same, constant.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm waiting. I mean, the Corvette is notoriously difficult to take out of the turns because of the rear, paying the front a visit from time to time. But I haven't seen hardly anything along these lines here from Hugo and neither from Jakob. That Corvette is sticking like glue to the track here. I think it's a huge tribute to what they're capable of doing here. It was damp, it was sunny even, it's raining again now, but the Corvette looks the same, whatever is going on around, and that's just fantastic.
Yeah, indeed.
So, I think we have another 10 minutes or so to go. A couple of last few facts here that I picked out on their homepage, which is very, very interesting indeed. They have a fantastic kart track as well. Should be interesting for David especially, because he's a kart racer also in real life. And even on the kart track they have 4 different layouts, so they really know what they're doing here. And David, if you're ever between Marseille and Toulon, bring your kart along. Should be worth a visit. They also have these blue stripes on the kart track. Somebody's obviously, seems to have left.
Yeah, and that they are obsessed with blue lines different layouts.
Yes, they are. Exactly. Yep. I mean, 4 different layouts for a kart track, that's fairly unusual, I think. Anyway, you can rent the place. You can take your team there karting for the day, and looks all very professional. And they even had Formula 1 races here. I remember when I was a teenager, I watched some of these events, 14 Formula 1 events, all in all. Last race in 1990. Before the big renovation of the track 10 years later. Then there was one by Alain Prost, and those days they had Dijon-Prenois alternating with Le Castellet, and then the whole circus moved to Magny-Cours in 1991, and that's where it's been ever since, hasn't it?
Yeah, and it will alternate with Spa next year, I think so.
Yep, it will. Which is, on the one hand, wonderful, because it does give us a French Grand Prix, which is a long and fantastic tradition. But on the other, I mean, taking Spa out of the calendar, it never feels right, does it?
Yeah, Spa is surely there every year. I mean, for me, it's my favorite race every year, so...
Yep. Well, it should be just every year, every series, every weather, every length should always be on Spa.
At least it will stay in the Endurance World Championship.
Yep, they really need that. There you are again, David. We were just talking about the kart track. Did you know they have a fantastic kart track here at Le Castellet as well?
Yeah, side by side. Sorry, I am having some problems with my sounds and volumes.
Yeah. I know. I definitely know who's responsible. You have the same idea that I have?
I did nothing.
That's what you say. That's right. I thought of a good name actually for it. What about Teamy?
Teamy?
As in team. Teamy. As in team plus IE. Because we're a team championship. Yeah, well, we must have a discussion on the forum, but Teamy would be my bit of sting here. Thank you very much. I shouldn't have mentioned it.
There will be people in the forum that will like to
hunt
to Teamy probably.
Yeah,
okay,
I know the kart circuit. Sorry, going back on topic, the kart circuit side by side with the big circuit.
Yeah, and
it's
4 different
nice
track layouts, as I was just saying. 4 different layouts and blue stripes as well. You really must go there one day and send us some images.
Yeah. Well, at first I need to recover my kart, and then I will.
Okay. So you're out of business at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I have another engine machine, and my wife only allows one at home. So.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely choose the same one that you chose, the boat. Mm-hmm. Sorry guys. There's real life, and being on a boat is just fantastic. Anyway, back to the race. Jose, one quick rundown of the whole grid before we finish off the broadcast, because I think we have about 5 minutes left here at Le Castellet. You just tell me where we are at the moment, whether we're still following Hugo doing his fantastic performance here at Le Castellet. Are we still with him?
No, actually I'm in P8 with David Clark.
All right, let me tell you then about positions number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 1 and 2, Hugo and Jakob, the Dutch brothers. No, they're not brothers, but they're brothers in arms. Anyway, going here for an all-out, fantastic, triumphant victory at rainy Le Castellet. Göran Johansson for Gubbklubben in 3. Then Gregory Degreef. Sorry, Gregory, we didn't show much of you. There was this incident right at the beginning when he was knocked off position number 4, but he recovered handsomely in the Martech, and he is still in position number 4. And this will give Black Rebels, who were not able to take part in the first round, a lot of points indeed. Daniel Beck for Gubbklubben in 5, so number of points for them as well. Yuri Braham for Flying Dutchman Development in 6, Thiago Orfao for AB Racing in 7, and then in 8, that's where I catch up with the camera, David Clark. It's for the Flat Out Club, I must say, unfortunately, because of course, obviously, Game Racer Flat Out would need all the points they can get. Then in 9, Risto Carpet. No, he's just losing that position. He's fighting with... and there's a spin there, Risto Carpet. He was touching Fernando Bento of AB Racing, and Bento spins as these two slug it out in turn 16, Virage Dupont, heading out onto the start and finish straight. Bento receives a hit there, Risto Carpet, and stays in position number 10. Nathan Eljo slips past as well for the Game Racer Flat Out Club. He is in 10 now, and down 11, Fernando Bento. Ooh, that was bad luck for him indeed. He was in a top 10 position, and now he has to defend against car number 12, in position number 12, Ethan Bass. That is the slowest tonight of the Flying Dutchman, which is absolutely fantastic. They have all 4 of their guys between position number 1 and 12. Absolutely breathtaking. Down to 13, Luca Darfara, who has just now switched on the lights on his fantastically designed Course Online Audi. Position number 13 for Darfara, which means he is down from position number 9 at the start. Then in 14, Ed Penko for Sonic Racing. Penko started the race in position number 26. Now that is 12 positions up. Absolutely great job by Ed Penko here for Sonic. In 15, Christopher Larsson. And we're about to start the last lap, or the last but one lap. So let's do this quickly. Christopher Larsson in 15 for Blue Flag. Kenny Persson, his Swedish compatriot, in 16 for Gubbklubben Juli. In 17, Joao Castellos, second of the Sonics. In 18, Adam Shaw, way down for Game Racer Flat Out. He must have a very slow car after that crash we witnessed earlier on. In 19, Andreas Hultgreen for the Black Rebels, going a little wide here. And then in 20, last man still standing, Christoph Babic for the Blue Flag Racing. And race control tells me it's 2 laps from now, so the 2 laps of course go to Hugo. And the race leader here for Flying Dutchman, let's hope that his fuel lasts. Let's hope that they didn't have any problems figuring out how much fuel to take. And he is right now in that very close hairpinny kind of part of track here, going out onto Mistral now. For the penultimate time, only this turn and then another lap to go.
And guys, Göran Johansson is being way slower than Gregory Degreef. He has lost a lot of the gap he had before. Still far, but well, they are getting closer.
And he has serious trouble with his ride. He's all over the place. I've just now watched him. But then again, Degreef is trying to find grip wherever possible as well. And they have the two blue flag racers between them. Christopher Larsson, I think a lap down, and Krzysztof Babic, I think 2 or 3 laps down.
Possibly, Eckhart, the key on that difference is that Göran Johansson stopped on lap 11.
Yep.
And Gregory Degreef stopped on lap 24.
Yep, Johansson's tires must be really shot by now. Whereas these guys here, Hekkenberg and De Boer, they stopped where they should stop, in the middle of the race. So their tires should be fairly okay now. And is it the last lap now for Hugo?
Well, he will start, yeah, exactly. He started last lap.
Okay, so we follow the race leader on his last lap. And as I said before, they should get a lot of points here at Le Castellet. I'm still trying to find my schedule of points, though.
Yeah, you say it's 60, but we have 60, to see the first lap as well.
Yep. No, it's even more. It's 32 for position number 1 and 29 for position number 2, so that would be 61 already. They don't get the pole position. That was Johansson. He gets 1 point for that. And I suppose they didn't really set the fastest lap along the way. I suppose that was Johansson as well, but I might be mistaken. He just looked, I don't know why, he just looked one way or the other.
Fastest lap is done by Hugo Hekkenberg.
Is he?
On lap 3.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Lap 3. Yeah. That's amazing.
I think it was the part of the race when it was really dry, Eckhart.
Yep. Very well done indeed. With almost full tank, or with very full tank indeed, he already did the fastest lap. That's just taking. So there we are, Hugo Hekkenberg in the last turn. So they're gaining 62 points here at Le Castellet for Flying Dutchman Racing. I suppose this is by far the best result they've ever had at the STC. Flashing the lights all the way from here to Marseille. Hugo Hekkenberg, there he goes. Out onto the straight, doing some antics here. Left, right. Hugo, you deserve it. And there's the win for him. And let's see, position number 2, Jakob De Boer. He's in that technical passage as well now, flashing the lights just as Hugo did. They're in for a glorious 1-2. Jakob De Boer, only a couple of seconds still left for him, and into the second position he goes. And Göran Johansson managed to stick to his 4th position, even though I must admit Gregory Degreef came close, but Johansson takes home position number 3 for Gubbklubben. So plenty of points, 26 to be precise, plus the pole as well. Oh, and Degreef spins in the very last turn. There's nobody behind him. Well, there is Krzysztof Babic, but he's down, so that doesn't really matter. Degreef in 4. And Daniel Beck for Gubbklubben. What does he do? Anyway, he's in 5, and Yuri Braham is in 6, getting very close in the end there to Daniel Beck. Then in 7, Thiago Orfao for AB Racing, still defending against David Clark, fastest of the game racer flat out tonight. Orfao stays in 7, Clark in 8. And in 9, it's 2 more flat outs. No, it's Nathan Eljo in 9, and we can see, what is Risto Carpet doing there? Risto Carpet is all over the place, doing funny things. Ethan Bass has finished, as has Orlando Bento and Risto Carpet as well. So, that was the second race of the STC, the Sim Racing Team Challenge Black Cup 2011 for you. We'll be back with the top 3 interview in half a second. And well, place is filling up here with lots of guys, and with me right now is Hugo Hekkenberg, who won this race at Litcasley. Hugo, first of all, a very big congratulations to you and your team. Well done.
Thank you, thank you. It was a very, very nice race. I was in a good form.
We saw that your lines were clean all the way through. Didn't you suffer from the wet, from tires, from anything at all?
No, I just lowered the speed of the car, and it went well. It was just drive easy and normal, and that was the trick.
Brilliant, absolutely well done. And you didn't fall for the rain, did you? You stayed out when everybody else went in, and that seems to have been the best decision of the night.
Yes, indeed. We decided to stay out. The car has enough grip with the low speed, so no problem there. It was awesome.
Yep, and as awesome was a second position for Jakob de Boer, so it makes that gives you a 1-2, the first time ever for the Flying Dutchman. How do you feel about that, Jakob?
Yeah, it's brilliant. This is what we've been training for and racing for. All these races we've done for the STC, and now finally to make a 1-2, it's just brilliant.
Go ahead.
Well, it shows how we get farther as a team, because this is a team effort. I would like to thank the whole team for this, because we couldn't have done it without the other guys.
And they finished in the top 12 as well. Both your Flying Dutchman development guys. Let's have a look here. Who's development? Ethan Bass and also Yuri Braham. I think they finished in something like 8 and 12 or so. So that's a fantastic
6th
result.
and 10th, if I'm correct.
6th and 10th even.
Yes.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
So that is amazing.
Yeah.
It's domination.
Well, all the hard work pays out now, and the key of the race was definitely the moment when everybody was going into the pit, and we decided to keep going because it was good.
Yep. Who made the decision?
Well, we had some pit crew overall, and it was a decision of us all. We were like, our pace is good. So why not keep out? Because if it's going to rain harder, then we can go in for wets.
Yep.
So it all worked.
Brilliant. I'm so happy for you. Well done. And here's a third position. Congratulations to you. Oh, sorry. By the way, Jakob, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very happy. But
congratulations also to position number 3, Göran Johansson. You set the fastest lap in quali, and then race didn't quite work out as you planned.
No, I have to say congrats to Hugo and Jakob first. I was faster than Risto, and I thought I go in for wets so I couldn't pass him on the track. But when I was in and the mechanics put my wets on, the sun starts to shine.
Oh dear. Was that one of the moments when you really wanted to kill the weather system?
Yes, that was the first time.
Okay. But then I think you recovered fairly well, didn't you? And then basically put in some very solid laps, lap after lap after lap, to consolidate that third position.
Yeah, I had quite some great speed there when it was half wet. And I did a pit stop again and put my slicks on. Then it was dry race for the rest.
Yeah, it seemed that the second and the third shower didn't really affect the track as much as the first one.
Maybe it was so. It feels slippery at the end. I made my last pit stop very early, so my tires were really bad at the end.
Okay, at the end of it. Yeah, I saw that Gregory Degreef was getting closer and closer and closer. We figured out it was probably the tires that were running very low indeed. Okay, well, thank you all three, and it's going to be an interesting table after this event, because we'll definitely have a new number one, and it might just be that Gubbklubben might be in position number 2, but I'm not quite sure, because Game Racer flat out really had a terrible night tonight, didn't they?
Yeah, it was No, it was not the best night for them. I mean, I have to say I'm not habituated to see them struggling that much.
Yep. They're usually so well organized. I'm really surprised at how this caught them so much by surprise. But then again, we all make mistakes. They made a serious one tonight, and I bet you they will be back even better than before. Okay, I think this wraps up the broadcast. It was a fantastic event to watch here at Le Castellet. Thank you very much, Göran. Thank you very much, Jakob. And of course, thank you very much, Hugo, for being with us in the interview.
Thank you.
And I hope to see all three of you back on the track a week from now at Hockenheim.